I want to say something about the tragedy that unfolded since we were last together. The passing of Sarah Beckstrom. So damn sad over the course of the Thanksgiving break. I'm looking at the Times coverage. Sarah Beckstrom, specialist Sarah Beckstrom of the West Virginia Army National Guard, worked for the military police, joined the Guard because a friend said that she saw herself one day in a career upholding the law at the FBI. She died on Thursday evening, so Thanksgiving night, at age 20 from injuries suffered in that ambush shooting near the White House, which took place on Wednesday, meaning that her family spent an anguished Thanksgiving at her side and saying goodbye. Her father, Gary Beckstrom, contacted by the Times, "I'm holding her hand right now." He said on Thursday, "She has a mortal wound. It's not going to be a recovery." And then on Thursday night, he posted on social media, "My baby girl has passed to glory. If I don't talk to you, don't be offended. This has been a horrible tragedy." So I went for additional coverage during the span of the Thanksgiving weekend, wanting to know, what did she think of the mission? What did she think of the mission? And I hope you'll find this of interest. It's very visual. The first story that I read was at Mediaite. And Mediaite had a headline. TC, you're watching all these headlines flash by. Slain National Guard member reportedly thought DC deployment was pointless. And the embedded link in the Mediaite story was a CNN package. And then I saw that Matt Drudge, the Drudge Report, picked up on that angle, that coverage, because at Drudge, in a very prominent position, slain soldier, thought deployment was pointless. Then I saw coverage in the Washington Post. The Washington Post headline was different. Their coverage, slain National Guard member believed in mission, said ex-boyfriend, referencing back to that initial CNN package. So pointless to some in the media, right? Believed in the mission to others was coverage elsewhere. The NBC, here's another one. The NBC local affiliate in D.C. killed National Guard member had grown to embrace assignment.
So what did the ex-boyfriend say?
Right. But and you can pick your poison here. If you want to say that this horrible tragedy, this young woman, struck down in the prime of her life,
20 years
that
old.
she was there and she thought it was just pointless, then you can say that, I guess. Or your coverage could say she believed in the mission. Here's another one. So now I'm wondering, well, wait a minute. It's my network. I've got to read and hear and watch the CNN coverage. The first reference that I saw on the website didn't tell me anything. Former boyfriend of National Guard member remembers her kind nature, love for hunting and fishing. All these stories are related back to the same interview that he gave. And then by now I'm cutting and pasting and I'm thinking, when I get back on air on Monday, I'm going to try and reconstruct this. So then came, sort of the final one. And this was, in my view, the second story that I saw from CNN. National Guard victim's ex-boyfriend says she described limits of DC deployment as pointless. And then the audio, there's only like a 30-second cut from him that is a part of this package. I've got the full transcript. But this is National Guard member Sarah Beckstrom's former boyfriend, Adam Carr, in conversation with CNN's Gabe Cohen. So I'm going to play this for you, and then I'm going to tell you more about it. Let's roll it.
Did she believe in the mission of being there? Did she think it was important, or did she think they didn't belong there, the West Virginia National Guard?
It was mixed. She got deputized in there, and they gave them no rights to do anything. She was like, people spit towards us, cuss at us, throw things at us, and we can't do nothing. She couldn't detain nobody. She couldn't stop them from doing wrong. It was like they told them to call the cops. She wanted to make the difference. She wanted to extremely. She was happy with it. And she just was also like, why am I here if I can't do nothing? Where they limited them so much, she's like, it's pointless. She's like, I get why we're here, crime's bad, but it's pointless if we can't do anything.
It's not what I initially believed it was, right? When I initially saw the pointless headline, I imagined that this poor young woman who's now gone saw no value in what she was doing there. That's not what I'm taking away from the boyfriend. And I have the transcript that tells me more about this. So here's the question. I'm going to read this to you because I can't play it for you. How did she feel about being deployed to D.C.? Hated it. Absolutely hated it. She was crying before she left. She dreaded it. She did not want to go. I didn't figure it would ever go this way, of course, and I kind of encouraged her. I was like, it could be a great opportunity, says the boyfriend. There's nothing around here, and it's a big open thing. It'd be a change of life, change of heart for a while. It's a little getaway, and she warmed up to it some. Everybody was telling her, they're like, it's an awesome opportunity. You're going to be part of something massive. It's going to go down in history. And so she ended up going, really didn't want to. And the more she was there, the more she warmed up to it. She made more friends, was going out, seeing things as they were patrolling. She was seeing monuments, enjoying it. She was actually volunteering for a longer time. She had the choice to come back sooner or stay longer. She actually was having a great time. She had great reviews on it. After like the first month, she was having a blast. Follow-up question. It was obviously a controversial thing. And now the part that was extracted for the package. Did she believe in the mission of being there? Did she think it was important? Or did she think they didn't belong there? The West Virginia National Guard. Answer, it was mixed. She got deputized in there, and they gave them no rights to do anything. She was like, people spit toward us, cuss at us, throw things at us, and we can't do nothing. Reading it literally. She couldn't detain nobody. She couldn't stop them from doing wrong. It was like they told them to call the cops. Even though they were deputized and into it, they were told to call the law. Did you get the sense that she thought, what was she doing there? For the most part, only because she couldn't do anything, she wanted to make the difference. She wanted to, extremely. She was happy with it. And she was just like, why am I here if I can't do nothing? Where they limited them so much. She's like, it's pointless. Like, I get why we're here. Crime is bad, but it's pointless if we can't do anything. Can't make any arrests, says the questioner. Yeah. And they're limited like crazy on a tight leash. They just can't do nothing. She was spit at, people telling her they wish she would die, stuff like that. Get the National Guard out of here. But it's also the supporters that made her extremely happy there, because you would have people coming up and they're like, I was in. Oh, my God. Thank you so much for being here. Y'all are really just a good piece of here. Question, because she ended up volunteering to stay. Why is that? She was really liking it. The roles completely flipped. She didn't want to be there. Not a doubt in her mind. She didn't want to be there. Then once she was there, she kind of realized it wasn't so bad and she was having fun. Final exchange. What do you want people to know out there about Sarah and her story? She definitely knows she was making a difference for the right cause, and she's one of the biggest-hearted people out there, and she never really had any hate toward anyone, and even if she had a reason, she was always forgiving to someone. And one of the best people. I'm glad most of our time was together, like a huge part of each of our lives together, and she made a big difference for me. She made a push myself to do more all the time, and she was always encouraging in any choice that I made, and I was really happy with it. She was right by my side for it. She was just that type of person. So what's the point, Michael? What are you trying to convey to us? I'm trying to convey that I don't like any of those headlines. And maybe it's just hard to limit nuance to this type of a story. I don't think it's fair to say that she thought it was pointless. And I don't think that it's fair for people to then repeat down the line, oh, you know that poor National Guard member who was slain in Washington and died on she didn't even want to be there. She thought it was pointless. No, that is a that is a mischaracterization of the nuance of what I'm hearing from the boyfriend. She was frustrated. She was frustrated once she got there. She was reluctant to go. When she got there, she warmed to it, believed in the mission, but was frustrated with the lack of power that she had to do anything about it. However it is you sum that up, that should be the headline. But if you saw, one of the whisper down the lanes and your conclusion was, oh my God, that poor woman, not only did she sacrifice her life, but she sacrificed her life for a mission that she thought was pointless, I think that would be inaccurate. I think that would be inaccurate and unfair to Sarah Beckstrom. Yeah, age 20. So rest in peace, Sarah Beckstrom. You died in service to your country.